Hello and welcome to this special holiday episode of the Nature Journal Show, where I'm going to talk about some of the best gifts that you can get for nature journalers. Whether you are shopping for your nature journaling friend, shopping for yourself, shopping for your spouse, and then just using their gifts yourself. If you're shopping for a young person in your family that you're trying to get into nature journaling, or if you're sharing this list with your family so they know what to get you, this list will even include some things to get for that nature journaler that seems to have everything. I'm going to be talking about some small stores where you can buy these goods, owned by people in our community. Some of these stores have given discount codes just for watchers of the Nature Journal Show, and some of them will be Amazon affiliate links. So if you shop through those links, I will actually get a small percentage. So let's dive right in, and let's start with the stocking stuffers. So these are some little things for nature journalers and things that they are constantly using, so that makes a good gift. Some of these are refillable things, but a lot of them are things that the nature journals will be going through on a regular basis. So some of the best are the Pilot Fudayaku gray and black brush pen. This is probably my favorite drawing tool and has been for about the last year or so. And this pen is really amazing because it has two sides to it. It has gray on one side and it has black on the other side, so you can get a lot of effects from that small pen. It's really convenient and works well in the field. I've taken this to a lot of different locations, never had issues with it on the plane, never had issues with it in high altitude situations, and it's just a marvelous pen. So that would be one of my number one gifts, especially for a stocking stuffer. And this Pilot Fudayaku gray and black brush pen is something that I always have, and I often have two of these in my nature journal kit. The next one that I would recommend that is an essential is the Pentel Aquash water brush. This would be a great thing to gift a nature journaler. They do last for a long time, but after a while they start to get worn out. The bristles will get worn out, and I like the size large. So that's the one that I recommend, but you can also get them in medium size, such as this one, and that would be a great stocking stuffer. The next stocking stuffer that I would recommend, and this is my second favorite drawing tool, is this Sailor Fude Demanet. It is a fountain pen that allows you to draw very fine lines, but also very thick lines, depending on how you angle that little nib that it has there with the angle. And it is an amazing refillable pen. It comes with water-soluble ink cartridges, but it's easy to put in an adapter that allows you to put in any ink that you want. And I use the carbon platinum ink, which is waterproof. That means you can watercolor on top of this. An amazing pen. This would be a gift, a little bit more special of a stocking stuffer, or perhaps a gift that you would wrap and give to someone or give to yourself. It's a really great pen. I love this. Next, after that, I would recommend a Tombow brush pen, pale gray. So this pale gray color, it's the N95 is the name of it. As you know, the Tombow brush pens have two sides. I end up only using the brush side, but these Tombow pens are water soluble, but I mainly use these really pale ones, almost the way that some people use the Prismacolor non-photo blue pencil. I use this for sort of drawing in the basics of a page, or also I use it to create some boxes, or sort of just organize my page and do some of my composition on the page. So this would be a great stocking stuffer as well. After that one, I would recommend the Pentel Pigment brush pen. And this is the one that's waterproof. And this one is actually with bristles. So unlike the Tombow pen, this one is with bristles, and the pigment ink means that it's waterproof. So this one can be used for calligraphy. and titles on your nature journal page. It can also be really fun for drawing, or if you ever need to put in a lot of black ink. However, this one is not safe to travel on the plane, in my experience, or to be used at high altitudes. But very fun for the sort of bold nature journaler who wants to put down a lot of black quickly, or wants to experiment with lettering and calligraphy using an actual brush tip that has ink. And this comes with cartridges, so they are refillable and can last for quite a while. So that is the Pentel Pigment Brush Pen. There's also the Pentel Aquash Gray ink, and this is a really fun one as well. I use it in a lot of similar ways to the pigment ink. I like the size better. It's just like the Aquash water brush, and it has the same bristles as the water brush, but it's filled with a gray ink, and this gray ink is a wonderful color and wonderful value. It's rather pale, it's sort of on the pale side, but it's really fun for painting in shadows, for doing borders and calligraphy, and also for drawing trees and things like that. I really enjoy it for that. So this one I actually carry in my main nature journaling kit, but this would be a wonderful stocking stuffer. The next stocking stuffer that I would recommend would be these Pilot Precise, and these are water soluble on purpose. So this is a wonderful tool. If I only could carry 2 nature journaling tools, and not including watercolor, I would just bring these 2 right here. So by combining this Pilot Precise pen with a water brush, since this is water soluble, you can get all of these cool effects from the water soluble ink, and you can also, so you can do gradations, but you can also get a very precise and sort of discrete line from the ink. So you could do pointillism even, and then with this you can create a graded wash, which is, it's going to be monochromatic, but you can get quite a variety of value and a beautiful and simple combination there. So this would be a great stocking stuffer as well, and they come usually in these packs of 4 so that you could keep some for yourself and others as gifts. This is a great one, and a lot of people use these for regular writing as well, but don't forget it is water soluble, so any writing or drawing that you do with it, if it gets a little bit of water on it, it is going to run and spread. So coming right up in the stocking stuffers, the next one that I would recommend would be this amazing tool right here, which is one of my top opaque white tools. So this is the Presto Jumbo Correction Pen, and it's made as a whiteout tool, but it works really well when you're doing watercolor and you need to put some white down on top with an opaque tool. So I use this a lot of times when I'm doing landscapitos and need to paint like a pale tree on top of a dark background. And then I also use it for the eyes or reflections on animals. And I also use it for when I'm doing landscapitos at the ocean and I need to paint in the white water from waves. Okay, and then the next one that is similarly another opaque drawing tool, and this is the one for finer lines, is the Uniball Signo. Why won't it focus? This Uniball Signo is the opaque white tool that I use when I need finer marks, so it works really good for, like I said, the reflection and eyes. You could also use this for your landscapitos as well, and both of these white tools, I carry them in my Everyday Nature Journal kit. So a couple more really fun stocking stuffers suggestions that I have here. One is the John Muir Laws store. He has an amazing selection of these owl stickers. These owl stickers are really cool, and he recently gave me several along with some other things to test out. They're quite big. If you look at them, and you can buy them individually for $6.50. There's several species of owls. These would be a wonderful stocking stuffer, and you can find these in his store on his website and support him there. So that would be another great stocking stuffer. And then a couple other things that would be great stocking stuffers I would recommend. My favorite graphite tool is this Pentel Twist Erase Click Mechanical Pencil. Really simple mechanical pencil. I love the way the eraser works, and the eraser is independent from how you click to make the lead come out. And I think that's a very important design feature. The only thing I don't like about them is that this rubber around the handle is the first thing that wears out. But other than that, these can last forever. I used the 0.7 lead, and I have that one along with everything else. In the description down below, you can find the links to all of that. And then the last two things that I think make a worthwhile stocking stuffer and are essential nature journaling supplies are, first of all, these clips. These are medium-sized binder clips, and you can get a box of 12 is how they're sold, but you probably only need 4, so you could give the rest away to friends or family members, or share them, or use them for other tasks. They're also really good if you're on a long drive and you need to stay awake. You can just put it on your ear, and it just hurts just enough where you won't get drowsy and fall asleep while driving long distances. Similarly, if there's a really bad smell, you can use them to clip your nose, but mainly I use them for nature journaling in windy conditions so that my pages stay flat. This is also good if you're doing a lot of watercolor. You can put these clips on here, and I use them pretty much every time I nature journal. The first thing I do is put these clips on my page. If you're going to do a lot of watercolor and your paper might be buckling, they're also useful for that. You probably only need 2 to 4 in your nature journal kit, but I always have these in my nature journal kit. So those would make a great stocking stuffer. And the last stocking stuffer that I'm recommending is this is a book lamp. And so there's a variety of these, and the one that this particular one right here, I could not find it online, but there are similar ones that you can find on Amazon. And after a lot of research, I think that this one right here, this book light, Perfect Day book light, is probably your best choice. The important thing about this one that is better than mine is that this one is rechargeable, so you can plug it in and recharge it. It does have a little bit bigger of a base than mine, so that's not ideal, but I think it is still rather slim enough that you could fit it in your nature journal kit. And this is really good for nature journaling in sort of more low light conditions. It's essential, but a book light like this can also allow you at night to continue to work on your pages. And I've taken these to Tanzania, to Ecuador, and I'm about to take this one to Costa Rica. They're definitely useful when you're nature journaling on trips like that and need to be looking at your pages at night. Super, super helpful, and would be a great multi-purpose stocking stuffer. All right, those are some good stocking stuffers. And now let's move on to the main course. And the main course that I'm going to talk about is going to be journals, because one of the perfect things about nature journaling is that you go through journals. And what that means is that as a gift, it's perfect. It's like a sandwich compared to a t-shirt, or a bottle of wine compared to some kind of toy. This is something that you're going to burn through, and hopefully the people you're getting gifts for are also using these up, which means that giving a gift of a journal is the perfect thing. So I'm going to talk about a couple of the ones that I like. And first of all, I'm going to point out the one that I use, and I've filled over 45 of these, so you can tell that I like them. And you probably already know, but it is the Stillman and Burn Alpha series. You can see even just on Amazon, I've purchased it 12 times, even though I've purchased it a lot of times from my local art supply stores and stores in other parts of California. So the one that I use is the Alpha series. The Alpha series refers to the type of paper. This one in the Alpha series is 150 GSM, which I think is the perfect balance between being able to handle a lot of watercolor, but also not being so thick that I can't fit very many pages in the journal. If you go up another size, it'll only contain 50 pages instead of this one contains like 95 pages. I like the 9x12 size. It's really big, but it also fits really well in my arm. In the crook of my arm right here, so I can nature journal standing up, and it allows me, I just noticed that I fill more nature journal pages when I have this bigger size. So that is the size that I've been using, and I really like. However, it is also possible to get this one in a 7 by 10 inch size, which I think works better for some people, and it works better for the nature journaling bag. So like some people have a slightly smaller nature journaling bag, and the 7 by 10 size fits into there a lot more easily. And another great gift besides those two options would be to get a toned paper. So a lot of people have been experimenting with toned paper lately, and the really cool thing about this one from Stillman & Byrne is that it contains 3 different types of paper in one sketchbook. So it's a great chance to try a gray, a black, and this sort of beige color with toned paper, which is really good for gouache. It's also really good for pastel and even pencil. So for example, there's some great artists in the nature journaling community. You've probably seen the work that they do on toned paper. So if that's something that you want to try, or you want to buy this as a gift for someone else, then I highly recommend this Nova Trio. And I think it only comes in 7 by 10. I don't think it comes in a bigger size. But one thing that I'm super excited to announce today is that after using over 45 of these journals from this company, I reached out to them and asked if they could hook me up with some type of brand deal, since up until now, I've basically been advertising their product for free. So I asked them, and it's been like a lot of back and forth, but they did send me, I just got this box recently, this huge box of supplies from them. So they sent me this package with some free supplies, and I didn't open it yet because I wanted to open it here with all of you. So let's see what they sent me. I'm really excited about this. Got my special package opening knife right here. So let's see what they sent me here. One of the things that I asked for that I wanted to try were some smaller sketchbooks like this. So you probably know, if you've followed me for a while, that I use these moleskin planners for my calendars. And I have all kinds of planning and journaling that I do in these, and I love them very much. The size is also very convenient. And in the past, when I'm traveling, I have used some small moleskins that I can keep in my pocket so that when I can't access my bigger nature journal, I have something else that I can access. And you might have seen, but back there on my shelf, I probably have like 20 of those moleskins that I've used for about the last 10 years. But I wanted to try the Stillman & Byrne version. So the cool thing is that this right here is Alpha Series as well. So what that means is, even though that this is a small little journal, it's going to have the same paper that I'm used to. This would also be a really nice stocking stuffer for someone if you wanted to get something smaller. I don't have this in the links yet because I couldn't remember exactly what they're going to send me, but they sent me a few of these. I'm hopefully going to be testing these on some expeditions in the tropics coming up pretty soon, so that'll be exciting. That 150 GSM paper should be really nice in this size. Let's see what else. Oh, and this is just what I was talking about, the Nova Trio. So this is, like I was saying, the toned paper. So why don't I go ahead and open it so I can show you what it looks like on the inside. Oh, I'm so excited. It even just looks cool like that from the side. Oh yeah, finally. I've spent, hundreds and hundreds of dollars buying these sketchbooks over the years, so I feel really great that I'm finally getting some free product from the company. Oh wow, that looks pretty nice in there. So one of the things I like about Stillman & Byrne is the way that they put the quality paper on both inside covers. Don't waste this paper. You can draw here as well. I really like to. So it looks like they chose the beige color for both of the covers. It starts with the beige color. I don't know if that's like 25 pages or something. Here's the black. And then here is that gray. I'm really excited to use this. This is the one that Liz Clayton Fuller uses. You might have seen the interview that I did with her. She does some amazing gouache illustrations of birds. It's an interesting size, but what I really like is that it still has the same cover and the same spiral binding that I'm used to. one thing I really like about using the same sketchbook, same nature journal over and over again is I just get used to the feel of it, and it reduces the variables. When I pull this out of my pocket, maybe this won't fit into my pocket, but when I pull this out of my nature journal, I have this sort of familiarity with it. And even with this smaller size, I'm excited for the fact that it's going to be the exact same paper that I'm already used to in my nature journal. So having that consistency with some of your supplies is really important. All right, so let's continue my little micro Christmas present opening session here and see what else is in here. Okay, here is my workhorse, this that I already pointed out. This is the Alpha Series 9x12. It's the 150 GSM. It's 50 sheets, so I guess that's technically 100 pages. And I love this. It has the, I think it's called just like a medium surface. They actually changed the description here a little bit. Yeah, medium grain surface, so it has a teeny bit of texture, but this is the main one that I've used for most of, I've used at least 40 of these. I've experimented with a couple of their other styles. And I think I just asked for a whole bunch of those. So you can see here, they sent me 1, 2, 3, 4. The funny thing is I didn't realize our communication was back and forth for a little bit. I didn't realize they were going to send these to me, and I just ordered like 2 or 3 of these from Amazon. So I'll probably have sketchbooks lasting me for a while. So that is my recommendations on journals. Obviously, there's some other good ones out there. I haven't experimented with that many different brands, but I suggest that once you find the one that you like, to stick with that and try to develop a consistency with the journal you use. And definitely check out my other videos. I have other videos where I talk about how to choose the best sketchbook for you and for your style of nature journaling. So check out the link. I'll post the link to that video because that one is going to help you decide what is best for you. But Stillman and Byrne have been working great for me. All right, the next super awesome gift to get someone would be a full-on nature journaling kit. So if there's someone that you think is ready to get started with nature journaling, or maybe there's a young person in your family, or you want to try to get your spouse into nature journaling, one thing you could do is just buy them a full nature journaling kit. And there's several really great companies that put them together. You've probably seen me describe a lot of the aspects of my nature journaling kit that I've pieced together over the years, but right now I'm going to talk about some of the ones that are ready to go packages that you can get. First, let's talk about Roseanne Hanson's amazing store, exploringoverland.com, and I will just show you really quickly her website, which is really amazing, and she has a lot of great stuff there, and she's even provided a discount code that we can use just for viewers of the Nature Journal show. That's it, NJ Show Love. You can use that up until Christmas. And let's just jump in here. Well, I'll show you her store real quick, and then I'll open the package. She has a lot of cool stuff here, including classes, amazing adventures that she has been on. Her husband and her also have a whole bunch of stuff about traveling overland in off-road vehicles and going on expeditions that way. But let's just dive right into her shop here, where I'll briefly show you some of the stuff that she has that you can get at a discount. So here's some of their stuff about driving off-road. But as you can see here, she has a whole book on nature journaling for a wild life. She also has these really cool pigment kits where you can use pigments that you collect yourself. That is something that I have not delved into, but Roseanne sure has. And she has these amazing minimalist paint tins. So if you're looking for something on the smaller side, that could be a potential for you. And she has, what I'm about to show you is, and because I think this is what she sent me, is the minimalist paint kit. So this is the kind of thing for a pretty, pretty reduced price, plus your 20% off. You could get this for someone to get started in nature journaling. And here you can see Roseanne using it there in the field. It has some really handy things that she's tested out. I love the thought that and the sort of design that went into this. So I'm going to go ahead and open this box that she sent me so that I can show you. And in the future, I will be testing these out and posting reviews of them so you can see how it works in the field. but I'm sure that it works pretty well because Roseanne does use these all over the place. I believe she's nature journaled in multiple places in South Africa and East Africa, and throughout the Southwest and more. So it comes with this cool sort of card here with some information, including links to some of her online video tutorials. And the entire kit comes in this nice bag that could be reusable. I like that. And let's open that in a second. And here is her book. I'm really excited to peruse this because I never have before. But this is a whole guide that she has created for nature journaling. And there's exercises in here and a whole pattern of going through the process of learning nature journaling. I love that. You can tell that she put a lot of thought into this. She even talks about how to create your own bound journals. This is the system that she uses, and then you can use whatever paper that you want in that journal. Here's a whole thing about earth colors and pigments. Look at how much thought went into this, and then there's a whole bunch of pages in the back for you actually to practice on. So this, just on first glance, this looks like an amazing resource. I can't believe how much, I can tell she put a lot of thought into making this. And so I think that is really, really exciting. And this could be the perfect thing for someone who hasn't started nature journaling yet, and needs everything to get started. So basically, you know, it's got this minimalist paint kit right here, which is $55. And I can't remember how much this is, but this package right here could be the thing that gets someone started in nature journaling. And I think that's really cool that on Roseanne's website, you can get that whole, you don't have to fuss around on Amazon or picking and choosing from different places. You could just get everything in one place. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up all of this stuff right here and see what is in this package. It looks like she has some good information on this little ruler and bookmark right here. So some measurement stuff, but also stuff for including in your metadata. And so she's got the dry erase marker here. I believe that is to be used on this plexiglass to create your own grid, which would be really cool for planning your composition. And then it looks like she has this is the mini version. So this is the same Pentel water brush that I use, except it is the medium size and it's the mini. So I've always been curious about this. That means it's like more compact. So look how short the body is on this one. Isn't that cute? That has got to be the cutest thing. Oh my gosh, this is just the cutest little thing that I've ever seen. I'm going to, when I have a baby, I'm definitely going to get them one of these when they're like 3 years old. That is amazing. You could fit this into you could just stick it in your ear probably. It's so small. But this would be an amazing little compact water brush to carry with you. And then equally cute, she has this tiny little mister. This can be really useful for sort of more sophisticated watercolor techniques. You can put water in there and use it to wet your watercolor palette, pre-wet your paper, or create other effects. This is the whiteboard marker, the dry erase marker that is for using for compositional stuff. And I'm excited to read in her book other recommendations she has for using this, because I have a feeling she has a whole bunch. And then last but not least, she has this, I've never used this Uniball before, this particular Uniball Onyx. So this would be your fine liner pen for the kit. And then you have, ooh, this is really exciting. So you've got this microfiber thing here for cleaning your brush, which is great. A binder clip, medium binder clip, just like the ones I talked about a moment ago. Really cool way to keep those together on the page. And then there is a magnet up here that attaches to the palette. So this is going to be really cool to try out, because as you might know, I've mostly used the Muir Laws palette, which is not a minimalist palette, but has like 30 colors or more in it. So let's check this out here. It looks like there's one that is open to add your own, or maybe to add a white gouache, for example. And then, oh, where does it tell us what these colors are? I might have to look on her website or in the book to find out what these colors are. But it looks like we've got our primaries here. So there is a blue, there is a red, it looks like there's an earth tone, and then there's a yellow. So those are our 3 primaries up there. And then this earth tone, that might be a black or a purple, I'm not sure. But what a convenient little kit. This could easily fit inside of your purse. The magnet allows you to put the palette right there at the top. So I'm really excited to try this out with some landscape painting and nature journaling. And you could be mixing up here in this area and cleaning your brush there. So this looks like a really fun kit. And for 55 bucks, this could get someone started on their nature journaling journey. So if you're looking for a complete kit, this kit from Roseanne Hansen would be one great option. And in a second, I'm going to share with you another option. Okay, so there is another amazing sort of all-in-one kit that I want to share with you. And some of you might already know about this because I did an interview with Maria Coriel Martin where she shared her amazing kit. And let's go to her website right now, arttoolkit.com. You might be aware of this. For those of you who are patrons on my Patreon, you already know that you can get this because we have a traveling one. So I bought one of these last year from arttoolkit.com. They sent me a free watercolor palette, one of their mini palette options, and then they gave us a discount code last year, and I bought one of their complete kits and have used it. And then for my Patreon members of $5 a month and above, we're mailing it around so everyone gets to try it. So just a little reminder down below, you can learn more about, if you go to patreon.com/Marley Peifer, you can learn more about how to support the Nature Journal show and how you could get access to one of these art toolkits. But even if you don't become a patron, you can get a 15% off discount from arttoolkit.com up until December 20th. So I highly recommend checking out their shop soon, because what I've noticed in the past is sometimes they run out of stuff, especially when there's like a discount code, or after Wild Wonder, for example, their stuff ran out. So use this code below, Marley Holiday 15 at arttoolkit.com. But look at how many cool things they have. These kits come in a variety of sizes, and it's this like a little purse almost. Sewn out of, I'm not sure what the material is, but it's really tough. And then they used moleskin sketchbooks tucked into there, and there's multiple pockets and these really ingenious little palettes. So it is another all-in-one field kit. It comes in multiple colors and multiple sizes. There's really small ones, and then there's A5 ones also. So if you want to get a complete kit for somebody, for nature journaling, this would be another option. They are more expensive than the ones that Roseanne puts together, but it does include the pouch as well. And the palette is a little bit different and is magnet based. So these are really, really cool. And on her website, she does offer other supplies, but let me just show you the palettes a little bit and how much variation there is. So these palettes come with all of these different size pans, so you can mix and match. It's pretty amazing the number of configurations that are possible. So the one that I've tried, I haven't tried any of the really small ones, but I have the folio palette, which right here looks really big, but it's actually just about that big. All these other ones are even smaller. Pretty amazing kits with lots of opportunity. As you can see, some of these are already out of stock, so I highly recommend that you use this code and get over there right away. And like I said, you could be buying one of these toolkits for anyone that you know that you want to get like a complete set for, or you can mix and match and maybe just get like one of the palettes. So this would be another amazing option, and this discount is going to be valid from November 19th until December 20th. So super appreciate Maria for hooking us up with that discount for people who are watching the show. And they wouldn't tell me, but they have some special product that they're going to release starting December 3rd. I don't know what it is yet, but they have some new product coming out December 3rd, which is pretty exciting, but don't know what that is yet. So definitely check out Art Toolkit. It is a good place to find a full-on kit. Okay, let's dive into some more amazing nature journal gifts for the holidays. But first, let me take a sip of eggnog. Wait, there's no eggnog in there. It's just brandy. I guess that's better than last year when instead of eggnog, all I had was straight half and half. Okay, so now we're going to talk about nature journal bags. And really, my philosophy when it comes to nature journaling and art supplies is the most important. The reason why I care about nature journal supplies and art supplies is because sometimes your supplies can make the difference between you nature journaling or not nature journaling. They could also make the difference between you nature journaling 100 hours a month versus, is that even possible? Yeah, nature journaling 100 hours a month versus nature journaling 10 hours a month. And one of the things that I think from my research and from my practice over the years is that a nature journal bag can be one of the huge factors that decides whether you nature journal a lot or not at all. So ever since John Muir Laws told me that I needed a side strap bag and I got one, this increased my nature journaling by so much because instead of carrying a backpack, I could have this and I could just pull out my nature journal so easily and put it back and just swing it back around. And it just makes it so convenient. So I am a fanatic about this. And I know there's some disadvantages to having a single strap bag, such as a purse or whatever, but the ability to move it and access it without taking the bag off is huge. It's monumental. So I'm going to review a couple bags because getting a good nature journal bag for somebody could make a huge difference in their nature journaling. So this, you probably know, I've done whole videos reviewing bags, and this is the one from Patagonia that is they no longer make this bag anymore. And the current bags that they're making similar to this, I don't think are good. I've tested them and I've returned them. As much as I love Patagonia, the new bags are not very good, at least that I've seen. So luckily, John Muir Laws sent me this bag to test out, and this isn't the initial one he used to use from Chico Bag. Some of you may have tried that one. This is from another company, Flowform, I think they're called. They're based in the US and they use a lot of recycled materials and are really focused on sustainability, which is great. And John Muir Laws had a bunch of nature journalers, including myself, give feedback about what aspects were essential to a nature journaling bag. I took many of the ideas that you've seen me talk about in some of my other videos, and I'll link those, how to choose the best nature journal bag for you. But I took many of those principles and applied them to my recommendations for his bag. However, I had not even tested the new bag out yet. So I asked him to send me one so that I could try it and review it. This one is definitely different in a lot of ways from my Patagonia bag. It doesn't have a flap on top, which has some pros and it has some cons, but it does have a really good waterproof zipper. I have tested this once in the rain and it stayed quite dry and it kept most of the sand out as well because I was at the beach. It has multiple accessible pockets from the outside, which I think is important that you can access stuff without going into the main compartment. And it does have water bottle pockets. Now the water bottle pocket doesn't hold a very big water bottle. So this is a uniquely narrow 800 milliliter water bottle. But just to put in perspective, this is a 1 liter bottle that a lot of people would see. I don't recommend using disposable plastic water bottles by any means. This is reusable technically once you get it. But this, for example, just to give you a perspective, it barely fits into here. So this might not be what you would want to use because it's going to be hard pulling it out and putting it back in, especially with your journal inside. However, it does fit sort of like a standard coffee cup size. And there is another pocket on this side, but it's a little bit too small for a water bottle. I'm not totally sure yet what I would put into there. On the inside that faces you, it has another pocket where you could basically put like a sandwich or something, even though it might get squished because it's going up against your body. I really like the strap on this. It's adjustable, and one of the things that I think is important is having a strap that is adjustable while you're standing up. So I can make this shorter in one movement like that, and now my bag, if I have to walk for a long period of time, my bag is not flopping as much. While I'm actually nature journaling, I'm going to make it longer. So with one quick pull, oops, the other way. With one quick pull this way, I can make the strap longer. Oops, looks like it got a little caught there. I can make it longer pretty easily as long as I don't fold it over like that. And then that allows me, when it's longer, it allows me easier access. And when I'm standing like this, nature journaling for a long time, I prefer it to be longer. Okay, so now let's dive into the inside. On the inside, it's definitely narrower than my other nature journal bag. So my 9x12 sketchbook doesn't actually fit this way. It has to fit sideways. So that's not ideal when you're using the wire-bound sketchbooks. You can hear it kind of getting stuck and making that zipper noise on the sides. However, that's not the end of the world, and a lot of people don't use 9x12 sketchbooks as big as the ones I use. So for example, if you were using a 7x10 sketchbook, this would fit in there lengthwise quite easily. And as you probably already know, Muir Laws is, I think, using something like 7x10 or potentially even slightly smaller for his nature journaling. And he also doesn't use wire-bound sketchbooks, so that is not an issue. Let's look on the inside a little bit more. I like the simplicity. It doesn't have too many pockets, but probably just enough. So it has one large compartment that can fit a full-size watercolor palette. This is the watercolor palette that Muir Laws uses, and it fits lengthwise in there pretty easily, I think. Actually, it has to fit a little bit sideways, which is fine, but you can see it fits sideways, kind of not ideal. And then it has the one main compartment, and then it has two deep pockets here. Oops, I still have a lot of sand in there. So those deep pockets are probably all you really need for internal organization. You can watch my video where I just review every single aspect of choosing a nature journal bag in depth to kind of get some more on that. But this bag right here is $75, and you can get it on his website. And while you're on his website, he does have a whole bunch of other cool stuff that you should know about, including a lot of free stuff. So you can see the bag right here. It only has 4 customer reviews. So if you've used this bag before, go ahead and give it a review so that people can know. It comes in more colors than the one that I'm showing. And you buy it on his website, and he'll get the the full profit there. And then while you're on his website, he does have a lot of other great stuff in his store, and he has a lot of free stuff there as well. So I highly recommend it. Look how much stuff he has. He has all this curriculum that is free. He has free worksheets. He has these printouts, things that you can print out on your own that are free. So for example, these rulers, these observation stickers, these naturalist tools, you can print these out and then insert them into your nature journal. He also sells the non-photo blue pencils individually, so you don't have to buy the big case. And he has posters, ID guides, and full curricula that are free in addition to his other stuff. Oh, here's his sketchbook. So I didn't have this on my list, but I should have added this to my section on sketchbooks. It's 22 bucks. I think it's sort of like about that big. I started one and mailed it around. It's still a traveling sketchbook. I'm not sure who has it now, but it has all these cool inserts in it that give you ideas of how to nature journal. So his $22 Laws sketchbook for nature journaling could be part of, if you want to put together a package that someone could start nature journaling with that includes sort of information about nature journaling, then this could be a good option as well. As you might know, the watercolor palette that I use is the watercolor palette that he sells. So no one else sells this. It's $149, which is kind of expensive. They're made by hand, however, and it's an amazing, amazing palette with 32 colors. I've used mine religiously for, I guess it's been over 7 years, and I love it. It's been to multiple continents. It's been down the Colorado River for 21 days. It's been on Amazonian tributaries in the rainforest. It's been in the Serengeti. It's been all over the place, and I love it. It's great. And you can buy it for $149, and you can see here this mixing chart, which might look familiar, that I put together where I did the combinations. I think there's 1,000 combinations of colors. It's really an amazing palette. I highly recommend it. This would be sort of like if you want to get a deluxe gift for somebody, I would order it there. And they're always sold out, especially after I do a review of them, because they are made by hand. I think Fiona is the one that's making them by hand still. It takes quite a while, so you should order yours soon. It would be a really special gift for someone who's already, this is probably not what I would get for someone who's just getting started with nature journaling. It's sort of more of a deluxe gift. And that is John Muir Laws' store, an amazing website, has almost everything you need for nature journaling and a lot of cool books as well, including his field guide. So definitely check out his website and buy some stuff from his store, because he's got a lot of good stuff. One last thing that you should definitely get on John Muir Laws' website, and would be a great gift. If you don't own this already, you should get it for yourself. Otherwise, this would be a great gift to get for someone who's getting started with nature journaling. But the Laws Guide to Nature Drawing and Journaling is basically the Bible of nature journaling. There's a million step-by-step exercises in here that you can do. This was a really fun one that we did together on the Nature Journal show. He talks about a lot of really scientific stuff and different strategies for nature journaling in the beginning. It's really well thought out. And then he has all of these exercises. He has things, how to draw birds in flight. He has a lot of specific stuff related to different media. So for example, how to use toned paper, how to mix watercolor. Here he has how to use water-soluble pens. So for example, those razor pens that I was just talking about, how to draw with those, how to use non-photo blue pencil, how to use maps. It's just incredible how to choose watercolors. This book is really great, so definitely check that out on his website as well. It's amazing. All right, so we've talked about a lot of nature journaling specific stuff and some art supplies, but right now we're going to talk about some really cool naturalist supplies, and these are things that can really make your nature journaling better. Some of them could be good stocking stuffers, and these could even be gifts for people in your life who aren't necessarily nature journaling yet, but maybe this could kind of get them started on nature journaling. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the most important and the one that's been most life-changing for me, and that's these Pentax Papilio close focus binoculars. These things are super amazing, and I used to have a fancier, more expensive pair of binoculars than these, but ever since I got these, I don't use my $300 ones anymore, and these are only $125 on Amazon. And the cool thing about these too is that you can focus on things that are half a meter away. So what that means is I could be looking at flowers, I could be looking at paintings in a museum, I could be looking at fish in an aquarium, I could be looking at flowers on the ground, bugs. And if you don't like bending over and looking at stuff on the ground when you're nature journaling, you can use these binoculars to look at those flowers. These are amazing, and they're lightweight, so compared to my other binoculars, they don't exhaust me if I'm wearing them all day long, and I can draw with them. So I have a whole video, how to draw with binoculars, where I talk about how with these binoculars, you can hold them to your face like this, and then you can look down at your paper and continue to draw, and then you can look up and look through the binoculars. That's not possible with a heavier pair of binoculars, even for me. And I've been working out lately. Actually, I haven't been working out due to COVID as much as I used to. But whatever, a bigger pair of binoculars, it's really hard to hold them up and just gets exhausting. This, I feel like, is the perfect size and the perfect price where I don't really worry about getting these messed up in the field, and they can fit into my purse. They easily fit into my nature journal bag, and they're also close focus. So they work for birds and things that are far away, but they also work for things that are relatively close up, like this far away. You can look at bugs and flowers and just be amazed. So this is something that has definitely changed my nature journaling for the better, and they're really affordable, and that would be an amazing gift maybe for a young naturalist or someone else that you love. That would be I highly would recommend that as a gift. Okay, cool. So next, one that has also been amazing for me, and it's incredible how some of these things are so cheap. So I got this after my friend Akshay recommended it, but it is a macro lens. So it helps you look at things that are up close, and it also has a wide angle lens, and it's only $45, which is kind of crazy to think about that these things can be produced for so cheap. But this basically just clips right onto your phone, over the camera on your phone, just like that. And then you can take amazing photos of bugs or flowers or whatever you want, and then afterwards you can go home and draw from those photos. So this is the wide angle lens version here, and you just unscrew that part right there. And then this is the macro lens for taking the close-up photos. And you get both those plus this little LED light and the case for $45. So this right here is a little light, so that you can turn this light on. I think I need to recharge mine. It's you plug it in to charge it. This is a little LED light that lights up whatever you're looking at. So I highly recommend this. It's only $45. One of the things that I don't like about my iPhone camera is it's hard to take pictures of little things. I'm always trying to take pictures of little things, and I'm always trying to take pictures of wide angle views and stuff that I can use for landscapitos. And this little contraption for $45 allows me to do that. The downsides of this is it can be a little bit inconvenient switching lenses all the time, and the lens covers aren't perfect, but it all comes in this little case right here. So this could easily fit in your nature journal bag. And if you're the kind of person that likes to take photos of things when you're out on your hikes and then nature journal them afterwards, that could be helpful. And I definitely use this a lot for my iNaturalist account because I like to identify small things like bugs and flowers, and getting a clear photo with this is way better than my phone. Next thing while you're looking at small stuff is this really cool little microscope. Let's see here. This microscope is really small, and it actually will connect onto your phone. So it has this clip right here that allows you to connect it to your phone, and that way you can view things through the larger screen on your phone, and you can also take photos of them that way. So it clips on really similar to the last one. It has a built-in LED, and you can look at things through here and nature journal them. If you have never nature journaled through a microscope, it's sort of a game changer, because suddenly you'll realize there's a bunch of things in your house that are super fascinating if you look at them through a microscope, and you could just spend forever looking through this thing. And they're just amazing, and this can easily fit in your nature journal kit as well. It goes from 250x to 100x. So really easy to use. This would be great for a kid. It's only $20. It comes with a little slide that you can use as well, and an LED and UV light underneath it. So I highly recommend that. While you're looking at small things, I recommend this magnifying glass that I recently purchased. And this magnifying glass is something that I've wanted for a while, to have like a better magnifying glass in my nature journal kit. This one is only 10x, which is kind of what I wanted for like looking at plants and stuff, but it's big enough so that I could be looking through it and drawing at the same time. It's a little bit heavy. Like the weight is going to add significant weight to my nature journal kit, and I'm not sure how easily it'll get scratched. But so far, it feels really heavy duty, and I'm really looking forward to using it. The last naturalist tool that I'm going to talk about, which would also make a really great gift, would be this would be a UV light. So UV lights are really great for looking at animals at night. For example, scorpions stand out, and certain flowers also reflect UV light that you'll notice. I think it's really funny on here that it describes it as a detector for pets' urine and stains. So just in case you wanted to know that your little dog peed on your bed, but you couldn't tell that your little dog peed on your bed, apparently in this advertisement at least, they think that's something that many people are going to want to do. So now you will know that your little dog peed on your bed. Actually, I don't use a UV light for that. There's certain places where I don't use the UV light, but like if I go to the tide pools or the desert, then I definitely use the UV light. Can be really cool for nature journaling. So if you know any nerdy nature journalers or any nature journalers that are really into scorpions, then that would be a great gift for them. All right, the main reason, like I said, that I'm interested in nature journal supplies is because of the way that they can leverage our nature journaling or allow us to nature journal more, and how bad choices of those supplies can impact our nature journaling negatively. So one thing that I think is super important is how long we spend nature journaling. And one thing that I've noticed a lot of times is that too much sun, too much standing, and not enough water and not enough chocolate are 4 of the main reasons that people stop nature journaling. So one of the things that I really like is a good hat. Like a good hat makes a huge difference. And the one that I've been using lately, and I use this on multiple expeditions so far, is this Shelta hat. And this company makes these ones that have this brim that is stiff, so it doesn't blow in the wind. It doesn't flop in the wind. And I highly recommend a wide brim hat, because the wide brim hat is going to just protect you from the sun, and the sun is really exhausting, and getting sunburn is not good for anybody. So this is the one that I recommend. It is a little bit expensive, $74.50. It comes in multiple styles. I got this pale color, and I use this every single day on my Grand Canyon trip last year, and I'm about to take it on my trip to Costa Rica, and I just use it all the time. The only caveats I have about this, it also has a pocket in the top, so you can actually put I put some waterproof nature journaling supplies in that little pocket, which was amazing. All of the things for cinching it down are actually really amazing as well. So I took this through some of the craziest rapids on the Colorado River, and it never got knocked off. I've dove into water with this thing before. I've nature journaled in extreme conditions with this hat before, gone under waterfalls and all kinds of things. It's amazing. It floats also, so if you lose it in the water, it will float and you can find it. A couple caveats though, some people don't like the look of it. So my girlfriend, for example, thinks it looks really dorky. Oh, I should have brought mine up here. My girlfriend thinks it looks really dorky, and the pale color, I don't recommend, even though pale colors are usually good for reflecting more light and staying cool. What I found is I got the pale color, this one, and it sort of gets stains on it, including sweat stains. So next time, I think I'm actually going to get one of the camouflage colors, or maybe just the olive color. But if you have another hat that you like, or you want to get a hat for somebody, I think it's a really important thing that can actually increase the amount of nature journaling that someone does. So I highly recommend that. And then the other thing are these sun gloves. I really like these sun gloves. So they made a huge difference for me, nature journaling on the Grand Canyon, because if you're nature journaling, you don't want to put sunscreen on your hands. Putting sunscreen on your hands is always a hassle, because later you're going to be eating or you're going to be touching your eyes. And if you're nature journaling and you have sunscreen on your fingers, when you touch your paper, it messes it up for drawing and for watercolor. So instead of putting sunscreen on my hands, what I did is I used these gloves to protect my hands from the sun, and they're amazing. And you've probably seen me use them in videos before. I really, really like them, and I highly recommend them. There's a couple other things that can make a huge difference when you're nature journaling in the field to allow you to nature journal more. And one of those is not having to sit on the ground and not having to stand all the time. So it's super annoying if you have to stand all the time. So I have been using this really small folding chair. This folding chair is incredible in terms of how small it is, and then you fold it up like that and it's ready to go. So it is super easy for me to fit this inside of my nature journal bag. So it just fits here in the back pocket very easily. And if I need to sit down, I can pull that out and use it. So I've taken this a lot of places with me, and it's only $23.99, which is amazing. It uses, it's partly so lightweight because it uses tension. So when you have to squeeze it together like that, you can see that it's a tension structure, not just a compression structure, and is really useful. It's not the most comfy chair that you've ever sat in, and it doesn't have a backrest. So that is something to consider, but it definitely beats standing up, and it's really easy to carry. Otherwise, the other chair that I love, and I think I've mentioned in multiple videos before, and you've probably seen it, is this Joey chair, Joey camp chair right here. This chair is definitely more pricey. I think when I bought it, it was like almost $100. It looks like it's $71 right now. It closes up really nicely in this package, but this is still sort of hefty, and you're gonna have to carry this separate from your nature journal kit. This won't like fit in your nature journal bag, probably. But I love this for nature journaling and for landscapes especially. I took this on the Grand Canyon. I took this to Vermont. I'm taking this to Costa Rica. I've nature journaled in sand, on huge sand dunes. I've nature journaled in bogs with this before. And one of the really important things about this chair is these feet. So it has these rubber feet that don't sink into the dirt or sand. And if you've ever experienced that in another folding chair before, you know it's not the best feeling. It just really sucks when you're sinking into the ground. But this works on rocks. It works on concrete. It works in the sand. It probably works on the snow. It's really a great chair, and it doesn't take that long to set up. I'm going to do a full review of this in a future video, but this would be a great gift for someone who maybe isn't even a nature journaler, but is an outdoors person, and you just want them to not complain as much while you're nature journaling. If you get them this chair, they'll be more comfortable, and they won't shorten your nature journaling trips. So this is also a cool chair because you can hang your nature journal supplies off of this. You can sit in here and do landscapes. I've sat under waterfalls in this chair before. It is really, really amazing. So those things that I've mentioned so far, those gift options, would be good for dealing with the sun and for dealing with standing. But next is dealing with thirst. So a lot of times people won't carry enough water with them when they are nature journaling. And one of the things that can help with that is having a better water bottle. So one thing that I found is there's these flexible water bladders, these collapsible water bottles, that I took this with me first to Tanzania when I was nature journaling there. And what I found is it allowed me to carry more water because this would fit in pockets that normally wouldn't work for like a hard or regular, any kind of regular water bottle. And so this right here carries a full liter of water. And in comparison, this bottle right here carries like 800 milliliters, and it is a lot harder and heavier. Whereas this, when it's done, when it's empty, you could fit this into your pocket. So I squeeze this into, on my nature journal kit, it has this little pouch in the back, the same one that I used for that folding chair. And this water bottle fits easily into there and provides even a cushion against my hip when it's in there. Then I can put my other water bottle in the front, in the regular water bottle pocket. And now I have almost 2 liters of water that I can carry with me if I know I'm going to be on a more extended thing. So just because I thought this is a pretty novel thing, it's BPA free. Obviously, plastic's not ideal for some other reasons, but being able to carry water with you is going to make you be able to nature journal longer. thing is a lack of chocolate. This is the other most likely thing to cause you to stop nature journaling before you're done. And so if you want to nature journal a little bit longer, one thing I've been doing is just bringing these little small individually wrapped chocolates in my nature journal kit. And don't put them in the pocket that's near your body or that's getting hit by the sun. But by carrying a couple of these, what I do is when I start getting, oh, there was just a really cool warbler outside my window. Oh, wow. Maybe it saw my chocolate. So this chocolate is 72%, so it has a lot of cacao and not that much sugar. But having these, when I start feeling tired on my nature journaling trip, what I've noticed, like I might be like ready to stop nature journaling. But if I pull one of these out and just eat a little bit of chocolate plus a little bit of sugar, because your brain burns calories while you're nature journaling, this can help you keep going longer. Well, what if this is not enough chocolate for you? If that's not enough chocolate for you, then I definitely recommend Alter Eco. This is my favorite brand of chocolate. I really like the burnt caramel and the brown butter especially. This is a variety pack that they do, but this would be a great, this would be a great stocking stuffer in addition to something that you might want to put in your nature journal kit for the field. Or if you're nature journaling at home, this is what I eat usually when I'm doing the nature journal show. So you've probably seen me on the nature journal show eating chocolate, and this is my preferred one. I'm not sponsored by this company, even though I'm going to ask them to sponsor me because I like their chocolates. They also do these truffles, and I've only had these one time and given them for gifts. They can melt a little bit, so I don't recommend bringing them in your kit for nature journaling in the field. But if you're nature journaling at home, and they have this, I think it's a compostable wrapper. They also have a bunch of projects that they do to help restore the forest, and they're fair trade and organic. So Alter Eco is a really good chocolate company. I'm not sponsored by them, so I don't get any benefit from advertising their chocolates. I mean, I do get a small benefit if you buy through the link because it's an affiliate link. So I get like, 50 cents or whatever. But the main reason why I'm sharing it is because I think chocolate is really important to nature journaling. And from my experience, people stop nature journaling when they get too much sun, their butt is tired from sitting on rocks, they're thirsty, or they run out of chocolate. So if you can deal with those problems, you can nature journal for longer and reach your full potential. All right, now that we've talked about chocolate and drinking water, let's talk about some more nature journaling supplies, specifically watercolor and gouache. And so a lot of people have been curious about gouache lately. It's sort of like the dark side of the force. Some people who are watercolor purists say you should never use gouache. Some people like Muir Laws are usually just using white gouache in their palettes. And then other people just go full crazy with gouache, like Liz Clayton Fuller, Akshay, and some other people. So let's talk about it. And the one that I actually have tried is this kit right here. It's a set of 24 whole bean gouache. So this is what Liz Clayton Fuller uses. She taught a class at Wild Wonder, and I did an interview with her. If you've never seen her stuff before, it's amazing. Liz Clayton Fuller. It does a lot of bird illustrations, and she uses tons of gouache. Now, obviously, gouache works really well with toned paper, like this black paper. I cannot wait to get some gouache, some of that whole bean gouache onto this toned paper, but it will also work in concert with your watercolors. So this kit right here is kind of a pricey kit, but this is sort of on the end of like, if you want to get a big present for someone, this kit is $150, similar price to Muir Laws watercolor palette, $150. His is probably more versatile. If you could only do one thing, I would get that because this is also in a field palette that's easy to use in the field, and it's made by Fiona and Jack, and so supporting him. However, this whole bean gouache is my recommendation if you want to jump into gouache. They also have a primary mixing kit, which is more basic and more affordable. So if you just want to get your toes a little bit wet with gouache, this is a $30 kit. You could get this for someone who you think this would be a really thoughtful gift if you're kind of trying to, if you're one of those people who's trying to interpret what your friend or loved ones might be wanting, and they've been experimenting with watercolor and stuff, and you might want to try gouache for them. This would be a great way to start. Also, really important, what I learned from Liz Clayton Fuller is that for gouache, you don't want to put it in a regular palette. So the first thing that you want to do is to store it is you need an airtight palette. Now, I made this mistake. I made the mistake of trying to create a palette with this. This is the same palette that John Muir Laws watercolor kit comes in. I think it's made by a German company that maybe it's Holbein, actually, the same as the gouache. But gouache doesn't really work in this kind of palette, and it cakes up, cracks, and falls out. And then you just lose a lot of money from that gouache breaking and falling out. So what I learned afterwards from Liz Clayton Fuller is that she uses this airtight palette right here to store the gouache, and then she uses a ceramic palette for the actual mixing. And so remember, all the links below, if you're getting confused, all the links for all of these things are going to be below. And if you use those links below in the description, you'll be helping support me a little bit. So that's how she recommends doing it. So if you want to get started with gouache, those would be a good place to start. The airtight palette, the ceramic palette for mixing, and then maybe the primary kit, unless you want to go with the full-on 24 kit, 24 color kit. All right, so I mentioned the John Muir Laws watercolor palette, and this is the one that I definitely recommend eventually as an investment. When I got this, I basically got rid of all of my colored pencils. I got rid of all of my colored markers, and I can make all of the colors that I need and all the colors that you can see back there on that chart from this one palette that is easy to use in the field. All you need is this and one of these Pentel water brushes, and you're good to go. You can make a million colors. However, this is a bit of an investment, and you never know. It's possible some people won't really get into watercolor. It might not be the right medium for them. So for those people, what I would recommend is this Winsor and Cotman set. So this is a $24 kit that can just get you a little bit started with watercolor. If you want to buy a watercolor kit for like a little kid, this could be a good one. It works in the field. Either this one or one of the ones like from Roseanne or from arttoolkit.com would be a good place to start. And you already know where to get the one from John Muir Laws, but I'll just show that one more time. On his website there, you can get his custom watercolor palette, which is the one that I use and have been using exclusively. I love it. Never looked back after getting this kit, but it is sort of more on the expensive side, and it might not be ready for Christmas. So now you might be wondering, what if I'm trying to shop for a nature journaler that has everything? There are some nature journalers who just have so many supplies. Maybe they have every single thing on my list, and you just want to get them something special. Or maybe you want to get a gift that feels different and is actually a gift that can be shared by a group of people. Well, in that case, there's only one thing that I can recommend. And a friend of mine, Akshay, posted this on the Nature Journal Club Facebook page as his ultimate gift. So this right now is the ultimate, is for this year, for 2021, I would consider this the ultimate gift that you could give. And that is to have and this will only work if you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, unfortunately. But this gift would be a bug party with the Beetle Lady. So Stephanie Dole, aka the Beetle Lady, is an amazing nature journaler in our community. She's an entomologist and an educator who does these amazing classes for kids where she brings all of these live insects and invertebrates and also pinned specimens, and she does these classes for kids, but she also does these amazing parties. So she has museum quality insect displays. If you like the Smithsonian Museum, then you would love this. And I'm telling you, this is going to be like, for nature journaling, this would be like the coolest thing you could do. And Akshay and Gargi did this for one of their birthday parties, and they loved it. And obviously Stephanie is amazing. So you can see on her website here, beetlelady.com/birthday parties, you can see all of the things that are included. It's $350. However, this is like, if you think about it, this would be like a really special thing to get for somebody. She can bring live tarantulas, beetles, or millipedes. She's really used to working with people who are maybe arachnophobic or scared of insects and bugs. But I'm telling you, there's so many beautiful things that she can bring, so many things that will bring out the curiosity in you and whoever you get this gift for. So for this year, for 2021, this is the ultimate gift, in my opinion. If you want to get like a really special gift, like say if you knew, like if I knew a teenager, like if I had a grandchild that was just starting to get into nature journaling, or maybe just starting to get into science, and I wanted to get them like the coolest gift ever, like this could be a life-changing gift. Have the beetle lady come out, and she has COVID protocols and everything, but have the beetle lady, Stephanie Dole, come out with all of her displays, all of her enthusiasm and knowledge. This is the kind of thing, like if you look at the history of some of the most famous scientists of all times, and you find these sort of things in their lives that changed them forever. Many of them like had these like beetle collecting experiences. Like even Vincent van Gogh, I just learned from his biography, had these experiences with beetles that changed him. Obviously, Charles Darwin is another example. But having the beetle lady come out, especially for a younger person, this could be a life-changing event. So that's why that one wins as the #1 gift. Well, I really appreciate the time you've taken to watch this video. And my whole goal with this video is actually to provide you with some help choosing gifts, nature journaling related gifts for the holidays. And go down below and you can find links to every single thing that I mentioned in order, from the beginning of the stocking stuffers all the way to the ultimate gift. And you can just click on the links right there. Some of them I will be getting a small percentage, but a lot of them, like the beetle lady, I don't have any deal with her. Even though she's my friend, I don't have a deal to get any percentage. I don't get anything from John Muir Laws' website. I don't get anything from the art toolkit. And besides what Roseanne shared with me to test, I don't get anything from her. So the only ones are the affiliate links on Amazon. I get a small percentage, and then the Stillman and Burns stuff, I did get some free stuff from them. So just being completely transparent, the main thing that I want to see is more people nature journaling and more applied nature journaling in the world. And that's my life goal, and I'm going to keep working on it. And guess what? This is the last episode of the Nature Journal show that's going to come out for like a whole week, because I'm actually going to go on the vacation. It's like the first time in 2 years that a week will go by with no Nature Journal show, because I've been producing consistently 1 or even 2, usually 2 Nature Journal shows a week for about 2 years, and this is gonna be the first time that I'm gonna take a break. So definitely check out all of the other videos. There's probably like a bunch of my suggested videos down there or over here that YouTube is showing you that you can watch, and I have all these playlists, so check those out. Have a great holiday. Make sure you nature journal a bunch. Ooh, I see some wild turkeys walking up to my house outside. Nature journal a bunch, and remember, it's not really, the supplies aren't the point. The nature journaling is the point. If the supplies can help you nature journal more or encourage more people to nature journal, then get the supplies. That's about it. All right, everyone. Bye. See you in a month. Bye.